So let's start things off with the most interesting style of underwear in all of human history. What am I talking about, gents? The codpiece. So the origins of the codpiece are interesting because it was a total accident. You see, in the 14th century, most men didn't wear underwear. The only guys wearing underwear were those with money, and they were wearing it to protect their outer clothing. They wore a very simple linen loincloth. Now, the fashion trends of the time encouraged men's of means to actually wear stockings, aka pantyhose. Now, these stockings were in two pieces, one for each leg, and as trends went on, it moved higher and higher up a man's legs. Eventually, these stockings went up so high on a man's legs, they were connected at the back right above the buttocks. And what this did is it overemphasized attention to the genitals. And at this point, the codpiece was created to help cover up the crotch. But something funny happened at this point. Somebody decided, you know what? Why cover this up? Let's celebrate a man's crotch. So for the next 100 years, we saw codpieces shaped and padded, not to conceal, but to emphasize a man's penis. They had metal codpieces designed for suits of armor. Seriously, if you go to the Tower of London and you look at King Henry VIII's armor, you will see this huge codpiece. Today's video, gents, we're having fun. We're talking about the evolution of men's underwear. So let's start things off by going to the Garden of Eden. Let's look at the fall. What happens? Adam bites into the apple. He realizes he's naked. Eve realizes that she's naked, and they want to cover themselves. What did they grab? A fig leaf. Fig leaves on average about 8 inches long. That's going to be fine for most people, most guys out there. Well, really, would a fig leaf, would that give any support? No. What was truly probably the first piece of underwear? The loincloth. We go back 7,000 years. Archaeologists have found leather loincloths, which actually did a pretty good job of giving you support. And this takes us to the core point of why was underwear invented. Initially, it was about to give us support and to protect us. Because if you're out there hunting, if you're out there moving around in vegetation, if you are out there being active, you do not want, you don't want the twig and berries to be out there flapping in the wind. A loincloth, a simple strip of material that passes between the legs and goes around the waist, is going to do a decent job of keeping everything in its place. Now, the first civilization that made it really clear that underwear was an important garment in their day-to-day lives, the Egyptians. In 3000 BC, what we see on the pyramids is that they wore loincloths. Now, over the next 1,000 years, there were many other civilizations which started using the loincloth. We see it pop up over in Japan. We see it pop up over in Hawaii. But the Egyptians are credited with being the ones that really put it on the map. Now, the funny thing about underwear is that we went thousands and thousands of years without really any innovation. And then in the last 100 years, we have had tons of innovation. Now, one of the coolest innovations that I've seen is coming from the company Sheath. What they've done is they've created underwear that has a package for your package. Yes, guys, a dual pouch where basically it takes care of the boys. This has to be one of the most comfortable pair of underwear I've ever worn. Now, gents, Sheath is a sponsor of today's video, and I'm proud to bring him to you because it's a veteran-owned business. I love their story. Robert, he's deployed, and he's having a lot of chafing issues. He gets out, and he has this single-minded mission. He's going to create the best underwear for guys that simply are tired of having to adjust, tired of all the pain down there if they're really sensitive. These guys are constantly innovating, listening to their customers, and creating the best underwear on the planet when it comes to comfort, when it comes to taking care of the boys. They've got now a wider range of selection. So if you're looking for cold weather base layers, if you want underwear that has a longer inseam, like 6 inches, they've got you covered. And for the 8% of my audience that's women, or for guys that just want to present their wife with a gift, check out the new women's underwear over at Sheath. And let's talk about the material. Incredibly soft. They're using micromodal and spandex, and I can tell you this stuff is durable. I've got pairs that he sent me 3 years ago that I've washed probably over 100 times. Yes, I wear and I use this underwear. I think it is just a great product. I'm linking the Sheath down in the description with the best deal you're going to find out there. I love this company. I'm proud to support them. Go check them out. So now let's go to the Middle Ages. We talked about the codpiece, but closely with the codpiece was the braid. And the braid was a very simple codpiece that basically held up. It was attached to the loincloth, but the idea was the braid was to provide a bit of modesty. But if a man had to urinate, he needed to take care of business, it was something you could just drop down and then you could, get done what needed to be done. Now, something big happened in the 18th century, and that is we saw the spinning jenny machines and we saw the cotton gin. All of a sudden, being able to produce and mass manufacture clothing became a possibility. You see, the reason underwear was so simple up to this point is because everyone had to pretty much make it for themselves, or it was very costly. You would hire someone to make one-off pieces. Now in the 1840s, 1850s, 1860s, we saw underwear little bits popping up here and there, but it was in 1868 that we saw the Union suit pop up. Now the Union suit was a one-piece front buttoning garment that would extend all the way out to the wrists, all the way down to the ankles, and actually had a back flap. Now from the Union suit, we actually saw the evolution of long johns, which got their name from a boxer, John Sullivan, who used to wear them in the ring. Now when you look at the Union suit, you may be wondering, why did they make it so complex? Well, don't worry, because in 1874, they came out with the jockstrap. Now what's interesting about the jockstrap is the inventor, C.F. Bennett, he had a bike company, and that's what he was focused in on. And as a biker, he realized, hey, he needed some support. So he created the jockstrap to actually help fellow bikers, and that turned out to be something that just sold really well. So it was in 1935 that men's underwear as we know it really started to take off. There was a company, Cooper's Incorporated. They came out with the jockey shorts, also known as the Y-strap over in the UK, nowadays known as the tidy whitey. When this hit the market, we're talking tens of thousands were sold immediately. And by the way, that company eventually became known as Jockey. Now in the 1930s, we saw another modern classic introduced, the boxer shorts. Now, similar to the whitey-tidies, boxer shorts started off as simple white cotton garments, but eventually we see over the years that they've evolved. They've really taken on a wide variety of colors, a wide variety of styles, but really the boxer shorts have elastic. They've got a very loose fit, and they were really for the guy that maybe wanted a more modest look. He wanted something that maybe he could wear in and around the house and not be showing off his full package. Now, in the 1940s, we saw innovation in underwear all of a sudden go to zero. Why? Because we had World War II going on. All of a sudden we're rationing things. So all the rubber that was used in the elastics of the waistbands was pulled out. We actually took a step back, 1950s, 60s, started to see a little bit of innovation here with different materials, but it was in the 1980s that we started to see things pick up. So let's talk about boxer briefs. In the 1980 movie American Gigolo, Richard Gere wore boxer briefs, and all of a sudden millions of people are exposed to this new style of great looking underwear, and all of a sudden they started flying right off the shelves. This new style was basically taking the silhouette of the boxer and basically slimming it up. They were able to leverage new materials that were now made available, and the boxer brief was born. And what about bikini briefs? Well, gentlemen, there are some parts of history that I will choose to forget. So what video to watch next? Check out this one, 10 life and style tips learned in the military. I talk about my time in the United States Marine Corps, some of the tips, some of the tricks that I can share with you guys. The rest, they're top secret. I can't share everything. Not just kidding. I have a lot of fun in this video. Go check it out, guys. I will link to it down in the description.